I'm publishing 4 books this year while working a full-time job. I'm a little bit crazy, but I'm not the only one who wants to do this. So I thought I'd share my plan with you today so you can accomplish your crazy dreams as well. So if this sounds interesting to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and let's get in. I currently have 3 self-published books, 2 young adult paranormal mysteries, and 1 contemporary holiday romance. They're available on Kindle Unlimited. If you want to check them out, I'll link them in the description below. Today I'm going to go over my writing strategies and how I make sure that I'm accomplishing all of the things that I need to do to make sure that my writing dreams of publishing 4 books come true. I have this ambitious goal of leaving my full-time job to become a full-time author, and I know in order to do that, I have to develop a really big backlog and a great following of readers. So if you are a reader of mine, I really appreciate you tuning in today, and hopefully you find some inspiration in my video and like a little bit of behind-the-scenes peek of what I'm writing. So if you're new to my channel, I have already written the first in this new Paranormal Cozy Mystery series. It's actually called Hex No, and I'm actually going to be revealing the cover soon. So if you're interested in seeing that cover reveal, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I'll link my handle in the description below. I also have started marketing a little bit more. I'm starting a newsletter. There's just all these things that I have to do. I've written the first 2 books and I've started the 3rd. The first book has been edited and it's out with beta readers right now. The second book is just kind of sitting there and I've started editing it and I really need to get into that edit. And I just recently this week started writing the 3rd one. I'm trying to start a marketing newsletter. I'm trying to post more on social media. I've also just recently found out that I'm invited to come speak at a conference this summer. I have a lot going on. So in order to make sure that I'm capable of doing all of this while still making sure that I'm paying the bills and attending my real job so I can get the health insurance and can pay my mortgage and make sure that Maggie has something comfortable to sleep on. I don't know if you can hear her snoring right now. She's very comfortable. I have to make a schedule. So if you've watched any of my videos before, you know that I am crazy and I get up at 5 a.m. before I go to school every day so I can make sure that I write. I have continued to do this. I get up at 5. Even on the weekends, I'm still getting up at 5 because my dogs know they're supposed to go out at 5 o'clock in the morning. And they don't understand the concept of Friday, Saturday, Sunday because every day is a weekend to a dog. Anyway, I get up and I write from 5:30 to 6. I don't really have to worry about because you know that I do a plan. I just come in and I look at my plan. I see where I left off the day before and I just start writing again. I used to try to have between 750 and 1,000 words, but I've recently reduced that to only aiming between 500 and 750. It relieved a little bit of stress on that I was putting on myself to try and get these books done a lot faster than they needed to be done. And so I do that and then I go to work and then I come home, and on Mondays and Wednesdays I write again and I shoot to have between 1,500 and 2,000 words in an hour and a half to 2 hours that I work in the evenings. Sometimes I only work for an hour and I try to have about 1,000 words. Sometimes the words come really easily. The biggest thing is that I listen to what my body needs and what my mind needs that evening. And there's been lots of evenings that I don't work because sometimes I have to go back to school. Other times it's just been a really long day. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have set aside to edit. So I come home and I sit and I edit and I shoot to edit 1 to 2 chapters a night, depending on what needs to be done. Right now I'm just focusing on the developmental stuff, so I've gone through and I've done the self-assessment, which I've made a video on. If you don't know how to do a self-assessment of your manuscript, I have an entire playlist that I'll link over here and you can check it out. It explains how to go through and do a developmental edit of your book after you've written the first draft. And so I'm currently working on revising my second manuscript so I can get that out to beta readers. And then I only work Monday through Thursday. And so I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to dedicate more time to my self-publishing career. On Fridays, I set aside time to record YouTube videos. And then recently I had to get a PO box so I could start a newsletter. I'm working on developing a reader's magnet for that newsletter, and I'm also starting a welcome sequence for that newsletter. So that's stuff that I work on Fridays in the morning, and then in the afternoons I like to edit a little bit more. On Saturday and Sunday, I like to write in longer times, so I give myself 2 to 3 hours to try and write and hit between 2,000 and 3,000 words. With all of these goals, and then in the evenings on one of those days, I usually give myself Sunday evenings off, but on the evenings, like sometime in the afternoon or evening on Saturday, I'll sit down and I'll edit another chapter, 2 to 3 chapters of the book. You're probably seeing that this takes a lot of personal time. I'm lucky enough to have a very supportive husband who very much believes in my dream and does everything that he can to support me. So just make sure that you are talking to the people in your lives about the importance of this dream, and that they know that you are going to probably have to sacrifice some personal time. For me lately, it's been sacrificing playing Diablo, which is just, I get that it's a dying game for a lot of people, but I really still like it, and I think we'll continue playing it for a while until we find something else that's a fun co-op game for couples. If you are a couple that plays video games and you have a suggestion for Chris and I, we have a PlayStation, and we also are Steam and have PCs. So if you know of a good co-op game, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, back to this. Balancing out your life, your work, and what your dream is a challenge. So make sure that this is what I do for myself, but maybe you do something differently. If you're self-publishing this year and you have any tips that you would like to share with me and the others on this, go ahead and leave a comment in the description below. If you are interested in learning any more helpful self-publishing tips from me and you have a question, also leave a comment and I'll try to answer them either in the comments, or maybe I'll be inspired to make a video for you on it. All right, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on my latest adventures, and I can't wait to talk to you guys again next week. Bye, witches.